I am attempting to read 10 books every month. We'll see if it happens. But I did manage to do it for January, so yay me! Woo! Confetti! I don't have confetti though. Just imagine it. I am doing this video in fuzzy pajamas because I just needed them today. Don't you ever have a day where you just need fuzzy pajamas? I knew you'd understand. I read some books, obviously, and I'm going to tell you about them, and you can just sit there and take it. Don't even think about giving me any sass. The first one is Guilt Hollow, and it was sent to me by, hold on, I have to check. Got it. Okay, it was sent to me by Blink for a review, and I did like it. It's like a fun, simple, young adult mystery type read with like the typical, you know, bad boy thing. Is he bad? Is he good? Do we like him? We don't know, but we just can't stop reading it. So yeah, I thought it was like a fun, easy, quick read. Nice way to start the year. Don't have to think too much about it. I am trying to read more classics this year. I did a pretty good job last year, but I'm trying to keep my momentum going. So everyone was like, read Wuthering Heights books, and I was like, okay, quit peer pressuring me. And that's the end of that story. At first, I was like, this is not very good. Jane Eyre is better, which is still true, by the way. But for the sake of argument, I will say that the second half of this book really worked for me, I'll tell you. The characters are terrible in the best way, and I just hate them all, and I hope none of them get happiness. I think I gave it about 4 stars, but I do still like Jane Eyre better. Just saying. I read not 1, but 2 Lemony Snicket books this month, because I'm crazy, and I can't be stopped. So the whole Netflix show thing, am I right? I actually am not a huge fan. I don't like it. I'm sorry, I want so badly to be convinced, but I'm just not. I've watched the first 3 episodes, and I'll probably watch a few more after I reread more of these guys. But I will say, it's so fun to be rereading a book from my childhood and not be disappointed in it as an adult. It's just as clever as I always remembered it being, and just as hilarious and wonderful, and I love it so much. Maybe you don't know this about me, but I do actually go to the gym because those cookies have to go somewhere. So I go 5 days a week in the morning, and the only thing that gets me through is an audiobook. So this month it was The Diviners, which was very kindly recommended to me by someone on Instagram. And I loved it. I think it might be my favorite read of the month, actually. And I hate it when that happens to me on audiobook, because then I've already bought the audiobook, but I feel like I have to buy the physical book too. Insanity. It's everything I love, you know? It's like a little mystery, a little supernatural action, and it's set in the 20s, so the lingo is hilarious. And I actually am not a fan of the main character, but in a way that is good. Like, she's really selfish, and that annoys me, and I recognize her flaws, and I think that's healthy. I really do. Another classic, Because I Can't Be Stopped. And if you're not familiar, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest is a classic about a mental institution and a guy who comes in and he just disrupts the norm, you know? So it's pretty good. It was a little hard to get into the perspective, the narrative voice, if you will. But once you get used to the rhythm, it's really interesting, and I loved it. And it was the last book of this month. I finished it an hour before midnight, and that counts. This book matches My Pajamas. I didn't plan this, but I like it. Crosstalk was sent to me by Random House, and I will say that this is a book that you really appreciate the technical skill of the author. The writing is fantastic. She writes dialogue really well, characters really well, scenes really well. Damn it, she just writes really well. In the not too distant future, it is popular to increase communication and empathy between romantic partners by having a surgery that allows you to feel each other's emotions, like kind of like telepathy, but not really. But what ends up happening is unintended consequences, of course. And then we get this whole other story, and she ends up connected to somebody she didn't expect to be connected to. And I really liked it, but I will say that it's very long feeling. It feels long to me for the story that it is. But some people like long books. I'm just not one of them. I really prefer books around 300 to 400 pages if I'm being honest. I like the satisfaction of finishing it quickly, and you can't blame me for it. I think I gave it 3.5 stars, but I'm tempted to give it a 3.75. Who can say? We'll do 0.75 since it matches My Pajamas. I feel like that's deserving. I don't know when I started picking up so many autobiographies, but I have like 5 on my TBR stack. So I knocked one out this month with Into Thin Air, which I will admit made me tear up on public transportation. The dangers of reading a book in public, my friends. I really liked the format of this copy. Like, I liked the line spacing and the text. And I know that sounds a little bit insane, but if you're a reader, you know what I mean. This book is a memoir by a journalist who climbed Everest in 1996 and about a whole bunch of bad stuff that happened on the way back down the mountain. It was really good. I like the way this guy writes a lot. He also wrote Into the Wild, which is a popular movie you might remember from a few years ago. It's a nice little subgenre addiction of mine, these real-life adventure stories, so definitely check this one out if you're into the same thing. I forgot that I read this on Kindle too, but here it is, The Shadow of Lake Crest. I believe this was a Kindle first read score that I get because I'm a Prime member, and I love that. It's like a free new book. I mean, what more could you want? So The Shadow of Lake Crest is about a girl in the 20s, I want to say. Am I remembering that right? A girl in some time from a little while ago ends up very quickly marrying this, on paper, very good bachelor who happens to be loaded and have a glorious mansion like we all want. And it ends up maybe not being so romantical. There's a lot of secrets in that old house. If walls could talk, you guys. If they could talk, it would be weird. Because then you'd have to talk to your walls all the time. And that's just uncomfortable. This one I gave like a 3.75. I thought it was funsies. That's the end! I'm all out of books, but don't worry, I'll be reading more because I'm addicted. I hope you enjoyed it, dear people of the YouTube, because that was my first wrap-up, and man, the pressure is on.